Christmas, everyone, and welcome to my Christmas movie marathon. I'm here to review Elf. I saw Elf back in theaters in 2003. I really enjoyed it. It was really funny. So it starts off with Santa delivering presents to an orphanage, and then a baby sees a bear in Santa's bag, so he climbs into the bag, and he goes back to New York, and then they realize then he comes out later, and Santa realizes he has a baby in there, and then years later, Will Ferrell is this giant elf. He's like 6'3" or 6 foot something in real life. So he's really tall, and of course they said he was the worst at putting in toys, but he was the best in screwing in light bulbs, is what they said, I think. And then he sat on Papa Elf's lap, tall for that, and then there's like a penguin, a snowman, and everyone. They're all talking to Buddy because Buddy found out who his real dad is, but they said he's on the naughty list, and he screamed, "No!" His dad was played by James Caan, who actually was in the movie That's My Boy with Adam Sandler. They're both good actors in this movie. So Will Ferrell decides to go back and find out his dad, and he wants to go eat sugar plums and play games and stuff, and then he said that Suzanne something had me, and he said Suzanne, and hold up, sorry for the inconvenience. It was something about, no, Susan Wells, and then he told his dad, and his dad still didn't believe that he was his father, so he had to take him to the doctor. But the funny thing is, he sent him a little thing that said "to dad," and it was a bra, and he said, "What?" And then they were all hanging out, having a good time. Buddy started to get a job at the mail place later. The first day they didn't do much. I'll just get to that later. I kind of skipped a little bit. Sorry about that. Then he was like, "Dad," and then they finally found out that Buddy was his son. They got some fingerprint stuff, I think, and then he found out that Buddy was his son. So comes home, meets Emily and Michael. Emily is James Caan's new wife, and he wants to go play out in the snow with his dad, but they said, "We can't just throw him out in the snow." He said, "He loves the snow. He told me 16 times or something like that." Then Buddy asks, "Is there sugar in Coke, or is there sugar in syrup or something?" And he said, "Yeah." Then, "Yes, we elves all like sweets," or something like that. He drinks a 2-liter Coke just like that. Chug, 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 chug. The whole thing, and then burped out big time. It was really funny. Later, Michael came home after school, and then a bunch of kids were throwing snowballs at him and Michael. And then one kid said, then Michael said, "These kids are bad news." And then he said, "We could take them. Make as many snowballs as you can." So he made one. The elf makes like 100. And Buddy's like, and he's throwing. One guy gets away, but then he takes the snowball that Michael made and hit him. And then they all ran around in the stores, and he said, "I wish Dad was here." "What?" "Because he's the best dad in the world," when they're jumping on in a elevator. And he said, "Because he's the greatest dad in the world." And he said, "You kidding? He's the worst dad in the world." And he said, "All he does is work." And he said, "Working is fun. Not the way he does it. He doesn't care about, all he cares about is money. He doesn't care about you or anybody else." There was something else in that. Earlier, he had been attacked by a fake Santa because he pulled his beard off and said, "He's a fake! He's a fake!" But the real funny part was, just seeing all the stuff he did. He did like a Mona Lisa on a Etch-a-Sketch. Like, said, welcome Santa. And he said, you're Santa, what song did I sing for you on your birthday? Well, happy birthday, of course. And it looked like you went, dang it. Or something like that. Then Will Ferrell was in that movie. And that part, he was watching Zoe, I forgot her last name. Zoe, sorry for the inconvenience. I know I have a movie with her name on the cover. It's Zoe Deschanel, I think. She plays a girl who was singing and then Buddy sung to her, and I think the reason she was singing in there was because her in the shower was because her power was out, and then she saw that Buddy was in there, and then she screamed and he ran off. Then later she saw that he told her that he had done that, and then later him and Michael were getting really close, and then he said, how are we gonna get the star up there? And Buddy said, I got it. He jumped and grabbed that tree and fell. It's a classic. It's really a classic. So later, Buddy's having an enjoyable time. First he gets scared of the fireplace, and then he gets scared of a lot of stuff. So then he runs off, and he's doing all this. He's having a good time. Then he goes to work. He made like M&M's and spaghetti. That's nasty. And he put like syrup in there or something. That's gross. Now, I'll tell you, that stuff doesn't go together. But I could see, like what, this is off topic, what Mr. Rebzion said, peanut butter, banana, bacon sandwich. A peanut butter, banana, and bacon sandwich is actually pretty good. I tried it once. So next, he goes with his dad to work and says, Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite color? Put that down. And then they thought they dialed the wrong number, so he hung up where he worked in the Empire State Building. And he goes off to work in the mail place, and he got scared. And then they told him that the mail place is a great place to work, and he was getting scared. But then he took alcohol because he thought it was syrup, so he put it in his coffee, which is actually what I'm drinking. Which is a great drink, by the way, to have if you're watching a Christmas movie. Maybe a nice cup of eggnog, cup of hot chocolate, cup of coffee, And then after that, he went to he was dancing around in the mail room where I think Miles Fink was talking to Walter Hobbs, I think his name is. Yeah, I think his name's Walter Hobbs. So then he wanted to put him on hold because Chuck in the mailroom wanted to talk to him, and then he said, Chuck, what is so annoying that you have to annoy me on, or something like that? I forgot what it was. And then Buddy was dancing in there, not even doing his work anymore. But one time he said, it's sucky. So he wanted his face to be sucked up by the machine. Yeah. So then the next day at work, Miles Fink came and he said, I didn't know you had elves working here. Dad, I didn't know you had elves working here. You're hilarious, my friend. Here we are laughing our heads off. He said, did you have to ride Santa's sleigh to get here? Something like that. And then he said, are you feeling strong, my friend? Call me elf one more time. And he said, he's an angry elf. That is like one of the funniest lines of the whole movie, I will be honest with you. He's an angry elf. And look at you, does someone need a hug? And then he got attacked, and he said he must have been a South Pole elf. And he said, listen, Miles, that's what James Caan said. And then Walter went, get out right now. Where do you want me to go? I don't care that you're an elf. I don't care that you're my son. Get out of my life now! And he he made Buddy feel like crap, and then he said, "I'm sorry I ruined your life," for blah 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 blah, and then what's his name? Michael came home and saw that Buddy had left, and then he said, and he went to his dad, and then his dad said, "We'll figure it out." And he said, Figure out about what? Figure out what? Buddy cares about everyone. All you care about is yourself." Which I did see in that part. Buddy did care about them, but James Caan was just a little... He was a bit of a grouch in the beginning of the movie until Buddy turned him around, because at the end, his boss told him, "I want to hear this pitch," or something, and then he said, "You have to wait, son." And he said, "Don't tell my kid what to do." And then he said something, and then he said, "Well, up yours." "Yeah, up yours." And he said, "Hobbs! Hobbs!" And he started screaming at him. I can't remember what he said word for word, because I don't remember all the lines off of that movie. But then something else he did, was he saw Santa, he went to go visit him, and then everyone started singing. Zooey Deschanel started singing, I think that's her name, and then she started singing the song, "You better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why Santa Claus is coming to town," and everyone started singing, everyone started believing in Santa. The sleigh flew off, and then James Caan wrote a book about Buddy, actually, and he said, "I didn't mean any of that. You're my son and I love you." So that was a really touching scene as well, and they hugged and they did everything, and then he went to go visit Santa at the North Pole, Buddy did, and and Zooey Deschanel was his girlfriend at the end. I think they were in love in the end. And then at one point in the movie, he said, "Bar, you have such a cute face. You should be on a Christmas card." And she said, "You just made my day." And then the movie was a success. It made it in the box office. It's one of my top in the list. My mom would have bought it for me if it wouldn't have been so expensive on Blu-ray. It landed itself in the box office. It's on 191, came out in 2003, like I said, out of 568. So it was a success, and it was a good movie. It's good for the family. It's good for kids. Kids will love it. You'll love it. Check it out. It's a great Christmas movie, and I look forward to maybe watching this again very soon, and I will have more Christmas reviews up. Another line I like is like when he said, "We should call security." Good idea. I like to whisper too. Yeah. So overall, I give it a 8, a 9 or 10 out of 10. Yeah. 8, 9, 10 out of 10, something like that, because it's another good movie. It's just not my favorite out of all of them, but it's on my top. So everyone, enjoy yourself, have a Merry Christmas, and stay tuned for some more videos. Bye. Peace.